last week they aired the Oscars. Did y'all watch it?
We did.
You did?
We did.
So obviously there was one clear winner out of everybody. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once. It won Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Film Editing, Best Supporting Actress, again, Best Original Score, Best Costume Design. It just went through.
Yeah.
All right. So, had you heard about this movie before then?
Yeah, I had. I mean, I know, actually, if I'm not mistaken, I remember you mentioning it, Sean, when probably, I don't know if it was when y'all were doing y'all's annual predictions or maybe if it was something else. But I was talking to Chris last night. I said, Sean said some other movie should have been like this movie, and I can't remember what it was.
Doctor Strange.
There
the
you
Multiverse
go.
of Madness,
There you go.
Yeah.
So, but I had heard about it, but only through really you. So, yeah.
Real quick, before we get into it, anything else on the Oscars that stood out to you?
Say what you said, babe.
About the Oscars?
Yeah, you said it on your show.
It was pale. That's what.
It
was very pale.
In what way?
I was very upset, and I understand. I get it. We messed up, y'all. Black people messed it up last year. And I hate to say black people messed it up, because honestly, Will Smith messed it up last year. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I think because of that, a huge step was taken back, and the Oscars were very pale this year. Yeah. And what else stood out to me was that my girl Angela Bassett got snubbed, I feel like.
Yeah, that was a big one. Because Everything Everywhere at Once was just killing it. Angela Bassett didn't win Best Supporting Actor, which I think she actually deserved.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen some of those movies, and she definitely, her speech when she realized what she had lost was even in the commercial, it cut me. Like, I was like, golly, she delivered that line like crazy. So I do think she should have won, but yeah, and her face showed me when
she probably saw that movie and was like, I lost to Jamie Lee Curtis doing that.
But Jamie Lee been in the game 40 plus years. I was surprised this was her first Oscar.
She's been around for a while.
And
too.
she's legacy. Both of her parents come from Hollywood. So I'm glad she lost to her, but I still think she should have
Angela Bassett's been around for a long time.
She has. I hate that she hasn't gotten an Oscar.
But it's not about that to me. It's not about how long you've been around. It's about what you portrayed. And if you, after watching last night that movie and watching between that and Angela's role, Angela should have won that clearly. You know what I mean? That to me wasn't an Oscar-worthy performance from Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought it was a good performance, but it wasn't an Oscar performance.
The wrong actress from that movie. Won.
Now who should have? The daughter should have been.
The daughter killed it.
The daughter would have been a good. If she would have won, I'd be like, okay, I understand, because
she was better than.
Yeah, she
than
flipped.
Angela.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think, and this is the politics. Maybe I've been, married to Conspiracy J too long.
Conspiracy J is retired, so I don't know.
Yeah, right. Conspiracy J is alive and well. But anyways, I think they probably gave it to Jamie because they wouldn't have gotten as much flack if they would have got more flack if they gave it to this young up and coming actress who killed it. Believe me, she killed it. But for her to beat out Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis, like, I think there would have been a lot of flack.
But she deserved it.
You think she deserved it over Angela?
Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Dog.
She killed it.
Dog, son.
She did. She did really well. She did really well in that movie, man.
So okay, so let me ask you a question. This is our test. This is black people test for actors. For all my white brothers and sisters out here, this is how black people think. Was she herself?
Who?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, did she play herself?
Would you say, like, because you know how black people is, we like, yo, that person just played themselves.
No,
like Angela didn't play herself. She played like, you know what I mean, a queen of, like, it wasn't like.
But Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie was very strange. It wasn't like she was a normal person.
No, but what I'm saying is sometimes it's like you could tell if somebody's using their own personality or they're really acting. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think that has anything to do. Like, her role was too weird for it to just be, oh, that's just her. Like, no, it was too weird.
No, but I get what you're saying. But sometimes some people's characters and like stuff, you was like, if you could watch something that's fictional and they got somebody in it that's like an actor or a singer, and you're like, oh, they playing themselves. Even though it's a sci-fi situation, it's still like, yo.
No, I don't think that's the thing. It's just that Jamie Lee Curtis's part wasn't pivotal to the movie.
Exactly. That's why when I was telling her, I was like, it doesn't seem like it was that supportive of the main character.
No,
It
was interesting. It was weird. It was like, oh, okay, but it wasn't like the core. Like the daughter was part of the story all the way through.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
She did an amazing job.
Exactly.
She really did.
Yeah.
So, and the only reason I say over Angela's speech when she was in the throne room was jarring. Like it almost made me cry. Like that's how good it was. But that was the only part of the movie that I felt she did well. It wasn't. She wasn't really a big part of the whole movie.
I get it.
The daughter in Everything Everywhere at Once was in the entire movie. Could have been the lead of the movie if it wasn't so focused on the mom.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say her. But
See that.
so nothing else really happened. They joked about the will thing a little bit. It was pretty plain.
Yeah.
But not the way you
Do
said it.
you think? I know we're talking about this movie, but do you think Brandon Fraser should have won Best Actor?
I didn't see that movie.
Oh, Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser, I'm sorry.
The Whale. Aaron Aronofsky. No, I didn't see it. Most people I know, even critics, said it was a bad movie.
Oh, really?
But
Because he's the Whale, basically.
yeah. So the thing is I think people are excited about his comeback,
Yeah.
because if you remember him from wasn't he like in the
Encino Man, don't
late
hate on
90s,
Encino Man.
late 90s, 2000s, yeah.
That was one of my favorite movies.
So I think he has, now it is like when MVP voting in the NBA, it's like kind of like you need a story,
Yeah.
I think the story behind his comeback was part of it.
Gotcha.
But I didn't see it, so I don't know.
Gotcha.
It was the same story though with the husband from Everything Everywhere All
Oh,
at
yeah,
Once.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's grew up in Hollywood. Like I remember him from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
So and they were both in Encino Man together. So it was a comeback story for him also to win the Oscar.
I felt really good for him. That was awesome. All right, so Everything Everywhere All at Once. So you guys watched it?
Yes.
Thoughts? I already heard his. What are your thoughts on it?
You know what? I
Did it deserve to be so celebrated?
I see why there was buzz. So I will say that. As a filmmaker or a person behind the lens,
you can say that.
you can say it too, but I get why.
As filmmakers, I'm gonna have to say filmmakers react.
There you go.
That's true.
Because the patron, the person going in and watching it, could have been a little bit distracted by the disjointing of it, like trying to figure out, okay, what's happening when, it's all in the title, basically. But the way it was shot, I loved some of the sequences. I loved, and then even big picture wise, I think I got what they were trying to say. But all that to say, I could see why they were buzzing. So it's a unique movie, and I would recommend watching it just to see what your thoughts and your opinions are.
Essentially, if I could sum up the point, was there is a temptation to descend into nihilism, which is essentially nothing matters, so what's the point, And I think the daughter that's where she was descending into because of her fractured relationship with her mom, and them.
Sean, you're good.
Right,
I need to go back to college.
what are you saying?
You're using great words.
No, but essentially, it's their break was happening in every universe, and the daughter was essentially trying to seek revenge because that's the way she was able to deal with it, was to destroy her mom and all the universes. So essentially, them coming back together saved her from that feeling. Nihilism is essentially like, what's the point of anything?
Nothing
Everything
really matters.
sucks. Everything.
And the great of Lauryn Hill and homie.
I was about to quote some Lamentations.
Yeah.
Or not, like you over here talking about
Nothing really matters. Remember that song?
Yeah.
I know you carrying a note. All right, babe.
Okay.
Trying to start something. But go ahead.
But yeah, so she was. It was fighting against the temptation when you start to kind of realize how small you are in the grand scheme of things. That then what's the point, And I think she was descending into that place, and her mom just kind of realizing her role in sending her to that place. Of course, there's some agendas,
Yeah.
You gotta fill that quota now, but the essential point is a mom and a daughter reconnecting and saving her from, feeling like nothing matters.
Can you explain what you felt like needed to happen in the husband-wife relationship? Because there was definitely a break there too there were, there was some reconciling that need to happen, but I couldn't quite figure out whose fault it was.
Well, I think from what I remember, because it's been a few months since I've seen it. I didn't have time to rewatch it, but from what I remember, he was constantly showing her signs of love, like putting the little eyes on all the items around the store, and she was just so focused on. She was doing all these, because if you notice all the different universes, she was doing a touch of all the different things in her own way, right?
Yeah.
She would, and I'm guilty of this too. I think it's also speaking to immigrants and how we, trying to live the American dream. You're trying to just get something to pop, like so you're just doing a little bit of everything, hoping something kind of hits. And I understand, like, my family is similar to that, but when they were in the IRS office and she's like, well, your business is registered to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And it's like, yeah. I do all those things. And I'm like, yeah, that's me too. And she was so focused on the things that she was missing his love that he was trying to show her. So I think when she saw him in a different way, when the suave, real capable version of her husband showed up, I think she realized that she was not showing love to her actual husband. So from what I remember, that's kind of what I got from that part of it.
I do remember the whole monologue about their versions of fighting, and I thought that was dope because I feel like that is true for a lot of different relationships, how people fight differently, and you can mistake someone's way of fighting for them not fighting when they're really just fighting in a different way. So I thought that was dope.
So if you haven't seen it, and I realize a lot of people have not seen this because, a lot of people are like, what? Why? Especially when they did the musical performance from that was super weird. With the hot dog. And I can imagine if you don't know anything about the movie, like, what? This don't sound good. It's weird. Like, why is this happening? But the entire movie is completely weird. And the reason why I compared it to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is, to me, what I thought that movie was going to be was just like a crazy trip around what different universe possibilities are. Now, of course, we don't believe this. And to the level of, in our journey as Christians on this earth, that whole thought is irrelevant to us. Our job is to deal with what we have here. I have no idea what God does, but the point is that's nothing for us to worry about. But it's a good thought experiment. And essentially is if your life took different paths, like if you and Jeremiah didn't get married, if I never met Alfie, or if the blah, 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 what would have been of your life? Yeah. And I think that was also what she was dealing with when she got to see that if she didn't get married to him, she would have been this huge Hollywood star. And he would have actually been really, big and important too. But that's the line of, I would rather just be in a laundromat doing taxes with you. It's like all this fame and success and all that means nothing. I just want to be doing normal stuff with you. Yeah, I think that was another revelation. But it's good. Yeah, it's packed with a lot of really, really thoughtful concepts, and they did a really good job, because remember, this is a very low budget movie. All the special effects, they had a team of like 9 people total. Oh wow. They learned how to do the special effects just watching YouTube videos. The guys, one of the guys who, I think both of them, they both listen to this podcast, my favorite podcast, the Filmcast, and they were just fans of the Filmcast, and they used to do music videos, like literally this could be our story, right? and they just learned how to do it. They pieced the story together. It's a very complicated story, right? They just pieced it together and they just did it. Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's why I'm like, for to have like almost no budget. Yeah. I don't know if it was their first thing, but to have almost no budget and to win the Oscar.
Well, it wasn't their first thing. Their first thing was probably shooting music videos, but then their first major big was thing. This. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they did another film project before, but yeah, like, so that to me is like, wow, that's amazing to see that they were able to accomplish that level of quality. To me, that ended up being better than the other multiverse movie from Disney.
Why did you we didn't see it because the whole demonic stuff. So what was so different from, why did you think that should have been like Doctor Strange?
Because Doctor Strange, the title made me feel like, okay, Multiverse of Madness, right? And they've been teasing the multiverse and like Loki and all these other shows, and I thought they were gonna go for it, right? You know, it was Sam Raimi, the Spider-Man, original Spider-Man guy. and it was really creative in its own way, but the multiverse aspect of it, this movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, conceptualizes that way better than Doctor Strange did.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange just barely touches on what a multiverse would mean, and they really dove into it.
Would you compare that? I think Spider-Man did a good job of the multiverse.
Just barely, but you're only seeing glimpses of it. Like, it was a really good movie, but it only really affected
see their situation.
Them actually going to other versions of reality. Like, you actually got to see it. Like, really, like they really took time and thought through what it would be like if it was this, this weird thing. So to me, that's why I compare those two, because they came out like right after each other.
So if somebody's never seen this movie, if you had to put two movies together and make this movie, which blank plus blank equals this?
I think it's what you said. It's like it's Matrix. I mean, I think even they said it was. The guy said, I want to put my mom in the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's really. It's a family story set in this sci-fi concept, but the focus is always the family story. Even as weird as it gets, it's always focused on the family story.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, but for somebody, because I'm in essence, I'm trying to help you with the pitch, because in essence, when you pitch something to somebody, they always need something to compare it to. So if somebody was like, yo, pitch me this movie, just using blank plus blank equal this, what would you say?
I don't know what the other movie to pair it with, and maybe you guys can help me, but it's definitely what The Matrix was, where it's like this concept that's like they were kind of like the first to screen with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Doctor Strange came out, I think, a couple weeks later, but they were the first fully multiverse concept on screen. There's other concepts of multiverse like Flashpoint in DC and other, but they were the first one to like put it on screen. Boom, here it is.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So to me, the way The Matrix kind of put that whole concept of simulated reality on screen. So I would put that, but I don't know what the other one is.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's okay. But yeah, so this is not a Christian movie in any kind of way.
Oh yeah.
I'm not recommending it to you to grow your soul or anything. But just as a movie, to me, I think it deserved
the Academy
accolades
Award.
it got.
So do you think that's the new thing for the Academy Awards now, to pick movies that are not traditionally a musical or a biopic or something like class, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, always the best pictures at times is either, like, I mean, I remember when what's the name of the movie that my man said La La Land, but it was really Moonlight.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see Moonlight, but I'm saying, like, certain stories to win the best picture, it's a lot of stuff it's a formula to win the best picture, I would say.
Yeah, but to me, it fits in that. It's always the underdog movies that win. Like I think it was Parasite, it was Moonlight, Moonlight. Right? It was it's always the one where it's like it's story, people focused.
Yeah.
Not special effects and
But this was the first one that
this came close,
with a special effects.
Right, but I think because the special effects were like so homemade, I think they didn't just detract from that, because it was such a low budget effort. It was indie feeling movie.
Yeah.
And here's another question too. And do you think it's now going to be easier for big time Hollywood stars to work in indie movies? Because Jamie Lee Curtis, the main character, they were big people. Like, that wasn't like,
but I mean, this is A24, so they already have a reputation.
Got you.
I mean,
okay.
You know, they did the one with Adam Sandler. What was the one that was like stressful the whole time? Something.
Oh, what Kevin Garnett was in it. Yeah. I remember what you're talking about. He was like a sport agent.
Somebody tell me. Anyway. But yeah, like they have a reputation for getting a lot of buzz on their films for low budget. Like that's what they're known for.
Because it always every film they put out looks like
it's low budget.
That. Yeah.
But they make great like low budget films.
Napoleon Dynamite, almost that style. Look.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Let us know. That's our take on it. Again, it's a good movie, but it's not like we're recommending it to you for like it's some sort of
if you like action, there's action in it. Very good action in it.
But it's super weird.
It is.
So prepare yourself. My wife she pieced out. My wife pieced out.
Good, Alfie. Good.
Yeah, we had a
'Cause
couple
he
people
did too,
piece
I
out.
was like, what?
You and Alfie are kindred souls.
But I love to kind of make even though it was weird for me too, I love to see kind of what they're going for, and I'll give people time to get to what they're going for, and I think overall they succeeded.
So real quick, what's the hot dog hands? I'm still trying to figure that out. As we sit right here, I'm like, what's the purpose? I know it was a part in her brain when she went in and she saw a cartoon, like she seen and she saw the hands, and then that happened. Is that based off that?
I don't remember, but I remember every universe helped her figure out how to do something better. So in that world, you need to use your feet more. So she ended up using her.
Because it started getting nasty, stupid mouth, and I was like, oh man.
It's weird. It's super weird.
It's super weird.
Anyway, let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
We play the music that inspires you because every song has a story. Christian hip hop and R&B music and talk on SiriusXM channel 154, 24 hours a day. Holy Culture Radio is changing the game. Discussions about faith, arts, vocation, and education. We talk about the real issues that affect our communities and work together to find solutions. Join the discussion at holyculture.net and be heard.